pushed him? Nothing. Ivan exclaimed, angered by the general obtuseness. His kind don't need to push. He can perform such stunts. Hold on to your hat. He knew beforehand that Berlioz would get under the tramcar. And did anyone besides you see this consultant? That's the trouble, it was just Berlioz and I. So, and what measures did you take to catch this murderer? Here the doctor turned and sent a glance towards a woman in a white coat, who was sitting at a table to one side. She took out a sheet of paper and began filling in the blank spaces in its columns. Here's what measures. I took a little candle from the kitchen. That one? Asked the doctor, pointing to the broken candle lying on the table in front of the woman, next to the icon. That very one, and why the icon? Ah, yes, the icon. Ivan blushed. It was the icon that frightened them most of all. He again jabbed his finger in the direction of Ryukin. But the thing is that he, the consultant, let's speak directly, is mixed up with the unclean powers, and you won't catch him so easily. The orderlies for some reason snapped to attention and fastened their eyes on Ivan. Yes, sirs, Ivan went on, mixed up with them. An absolute fact. He spoke personally with Pontius Pilate. And there's no need to stare at me like that. I'm telling the truth. He saw everything, the balcony and the palm trees. In short, he was at Pontius Pilate's, I can vouch for it. Come, come. Well, so I pinned the icon on my chest and ran. Here the clock suddenly struck twice. Oh, Ivan exclaimed and got up from the couch. It's 2 o'clock, and I'm wasting time with you. Excuse me, where's the telephone? Let him use the telephone, the doctor told the orderlies. Ivan grabbed the receiver, and the woman meanwhile quietly asked Ryukin. Is he married? Single, Ryukin answered fearfully. Member of a trade union? Yes. Police? Ivan shouted into the receiver. Police? Comrade officer on duty, give orders at once for 5 motorcycles with machine guns to be sent out to catch the foreign consultant. What? Come and pick me up, I'll go with you. It's the poet Homeless speaking from the madhouse. What's your address? Homeless asked the doctor in a whisper, covering the receiver with his hand, and then again shouting into it, are you listening? Hello. Outrageous. Ivan suddenly screamed and hurled the receiver against the wall. Then he turned to the doctor, offered him his hand, said goodbye dryly, and made as if to leave. For pity's sake, where do you intend to go? The doctor said, peering into Ivan's eyes. In the dead of night, in your underwear, you're not feeling well, stay with us. Let me pass, Ivan said to the orderlies, who closed ranks at the door. Will you let me pass or not? The poet shouted in a terrible voice. Ryukin trembled, but the woman pushed a button on the table and a shiny little box with a sealed ampule popped out onto its glass surface. Ah, so? Ivan said, turning around with a wild and hunted look. Well, then. Goodbye. And he rushed headfirst into the window blind. The crash was rather forceful, but the glass behind the blind gave no crack, and in an instant Ivan Nikolaevich was struggling in the hands of the orderlies. He gasped, tried to bite, shouted. So that's the sort of windows you've got here. Let me go. Let me go. A syringe flashed in the doctor's hand. With a single movement the woman slit the threadbare sleeve of the shirt and seized the arm with unwomanly strength. There was a smell of ether. Ivan went limp in the hands of the four people. The deaf doctor took advantage of this moment and stuck the needle into Ivan's arm. They held Ivan for another few seconds and then lowered him onto the couch. Bandits! Ivan shouted and jumped up from the couch, but was installed on it again. The moment they let go of him, he again jumped up, but sat back down by himself. He paused, gazing around wildly, then unexpectedly yawned, then smiled maliciously. Locked me up after all, he said, yawned again, unexpectedly lay down, put his head on the pillow, his fist under his head like a child, and muttered now in a sleepy voice, without malice, very well, then you'll pay for it yourselves. I've warned you, you can do as you like. I'm now interested most of all in Pontius Pilate, and he closed his eyes. A bath, a private room, number 117, and a nurse to watch him, the doctor ordered as he put his glasses on. Here Ryukin again gave a start. The white door opened noiselessly. Behind it a corridor could be seen, lit by blue nightlights.